One person said to me the other day, "What is this book about?" And my immediate answer was madness.
Madness?
Yeah, and then I thought about that, and I thought, that I think most writers, somewhere in the process of writing, I would conjecture anyway, feel this way. So it's not far off. So that's one thing I thought about. And then I thought, a lot of my life has been split in many ways, especially, as a woman, I think we can understand this. So some of the things I thought about were, I was saying this to someone else. I went to the opera the other night to see Pagliacci, and I was totally engrossed in the opera and everything else, but in the meantime, my head was totally split, and I was thinking of, I have to revise that sentence. I have to change that word.
Oh, I wake up like that.
And I that's not right. And I was completely into the story of Pagliacci, but still in all thinking in my head. So that was another thing. So my question then was I in control, or was the poem? Which I thought about, and I think many of us go through those things. And I would like to say that the book is a culmination of pieces, times, and places in my life. Some, I always have to say this, because some are, as much as many things we do are invented, at least for me they are. Some are recollections, but a lot of things are invented and just sort of come to be on a page. So when I think about the poems I've written, it's sometimes hard for me to think, where in the world does this even come from? So, and I think a lot of the poetry for me is suffused with dreams, fantasy, and real life combined, because isn't that what it's all about anyway? I also have poems written about youth, which is before a person encounters loss. And before, we go through some profound moments in our lifetime, which will happen, but when we're young, we just are young. And that's where we are. Right. I will also say that my parents, my father was from here, and my mother she grew up in Ireland and then England, so I think I'm the firstborn. So for me, I'm first generation from my mother's side, and I think I carry almost two continents, two places, and two ideas, two ways of being in my life, and it's been hard for me I've never understood why I am the way I am, actually, but I do think some of it relates to, I have a poem about my parents, one being the prairie grass and the other one being the sea. So there's that antithesis that probably is before memory, I would say, for me. And I think other things that are surprising are when you have children, and and you think they'll never grow up. And then you think, why didn't they grow up? Because you want them to grow up, but then when they do, and I have a poem where all of a sudden my son is looking at me and he's eye level, and I'm absolutely terrified, because you're not ready for that, so, or about my former husband who, he's deceased, but I was divorced, so I don't know how I'm a widow and a single parent. I don't know, I'm kind of mixed up there. But on the sadness of shirts, like the one thing I have from him is a shirt. And how, when I took the shirt after he passed away, it just kind of settled right next to my dress. And these things happen. So, so that's